height. Some people scared of driving fast. Some people scared of ghosts. Some people scared of the truth.
Building Jamaica.
Special program. This program is special because with this evening's guest, we reach a plateau in our quest to find out who we have been and who we are. Our guest is one of the leading anthropologists and Egyptologists in the world, Dr. Chiekh Anta Diop. Dr. Diop was born in Senegal, and at age 23, he went to Paris, France to continue advanced studies in physics. In 1966, the first World Black Festival of Arts and Culture, held in Dakar, Senegal, honored Dr. Diop and Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois as the scholars who exerted the greatest influence on black thought in the 20th century. Dr. Diop, who is also a linguist, is director of the Radiocarbon Laboratory at the Fundamental Institute of Black Africa at the University of Dakar in Senegal. In this first segment, Dr. Diop discusses the evolution of mankind.
Aujourd'hui, la science sait de façon sûre que l'humanité.
So the great Dr. Chiekh Anta Diop, who established the scientific idea to prove what we have always instinctively known, that we have a history, we have a story, we have potential. Africa is great. There's nothing to compare with African ingenuity. Well, Chiekh Anta Diop gives us the tools to say, okay, this is what is understood in the highest echelons. So why we are going to argue something different here? You understand me? Because we're under a tree. So anyway, so Chiekh Anta Diop speaks in French, and he also speaks Wolof in native Senegalese tongue. But for the purpose of this, we will, unfortunately, because people these days just very I forget to the point and get it moving to the next thing, we have to kind of edit Chiekh Anta Diop's powerful voice. But anyway, we will substitute that for the voice of his translator, very beautiful interpreter. So just because we're here, we know we're limited to English, so Dr. Diop is gonna speak, and then he is translated by his interpreter. But for the purpose of this audio, we will play the voice of the interpreter and the voice of the interviewer who asks the question for the purpose of English. All right, thank you very much. Stick with the Benki through this one. This one, very important. This is what the type of philosophy and knowledge and information will give the insight. So that's when you see petty things, you understand the petty things also, right? Because you can see where things are come from. So all right, sit back, listen to this one and now with some popcorn.
Kenya, l'Éthiopie et la Tanzanie.
We are able to say scientifically today, to say with certainty that mankind was born in Africa on the latitude more or less of Kenya, and that area which comprises Kenya, Ethiopia and Tanzania.
Et qui va même jusqu'en Afrique du Sud, suivant un axe nord-sud.
And going on a north-south axis all the way south to South Africa.
Oh.
Clear that any humanity that had its birth in that region could not have survived in an equatorial region without pigmentation. She doesn't do anything by chance, and it's for that reason that humanity, mankind that was born in a sub-equatorial region, was given melanin to protect its skin, and it's for that reason that it is clear, it is certain that first man had to be a black man. After that race left Africa to people other parts of the world that had different climatic phenomena, that man changed and became and took on different aspects, had a different look. Nature created 6 specimens of man before we got to man as we know him today.
Les 3 premiers,
scientific information that we have now, it appears that the first 3 of these species, which is not necessary to name, never acquired the potential or never arrived at the potential for exporting or leaving their own area.
Non, c'est d'expansion pour sortir de l'Afrique.
They never had the potential to expand and to leave Africa.
Yes.
Africa.
Les...
Fifth of these species disappeared.
Il ne reste que le sixième qui est l'homme que nous sommes.
And what remains is man as we know him, that sixth species.
Le cinquième, c'est celui-là que j'ai projeté ici. Vous le voyez. Cinquième.
This is the fifth of these species, which, as you will see, resembles very much man as we know him today.
Mais il n'est
but man as we know him today was not differentiated a great deal from this man.
Si vous le regardez, sont presque à la...
The major difference here is that the fifth species did not have a forehead. You'll see that the eyes are situated very close to the top of the head. This is a very important detail. It means that the brain inside was very different from the brain inside of man as we know him today.
Ce qu'on appelle le lobe antérieur du cerveau, il ne l'a pas.
He does not have the anterior lobe of the brain. In anatomical studies, it has been determined that he did not have this anterior lobe.
C'est la grande différence.
Major difference, a fundamental difference between Homo sapiens sapien, which is what we are.
Et ce spécimen n'a...
This species was never able to overcome nature to an extent that he was able to create works of art. Slide.
Là,
the man in the middle is the man that we are.
C'est le crâne du milieu.
It's a black man. The skull is that of a black man, which we call in prehistoric history the Grimaldi man.
On sait que nous avons dans notre collection à Dakar, à l'IFAN, et le crâne de droite, de la trans...
In looking at the skull in the middle, that the morphology of this skull is very much that of blacks. That is the skull of modern man. To the left of it, we have the skull of modern African man. It is one of those that is in our collection at the University of Dakar.
L'homme qui est à droite.
40,000 years ago, the man in the middle left Africa and went to Europe.
Il va vivre en Europe de moins...
That man,
il va donner naissance. Donc,
the skull at the extreme right of the screen is that of Cro-Magnon man. It was between 40 and 20,000 years ago that the man in the middle left Africa to go into Europe at a time during what is called the final or the last glaciation. The climate in Europe was extremely cold. It was much colder than it is now. And during this period of some 20,000 years, he underwent the adaptation to become what we know as white men.
Donc, c'est bel et bien si blanc est sorti.
Clear to all of the scientists involved in this field, even if they are only able to say it within themselves and unable to say it publicly, that the man that we know conventionally to be a white man evolved from a black man over a period of some 20,000 years of adaptation to a different climate. And if we are to say with any serenity, resting totally on scientific data, that is the conclusion that we must come to.
Donc,
if the man that we see in the middle there had never left Africa to people other parts of the world, and if those people in other parts of the world in different climates had not, through the process of adaptation, become what they are in various regions of the world, all man would be homogeneous, and all men would be black. Not left Africa. The rest of the world would have remained a desert, would never have been people.
Donc, voilà.
To answer precisely your first question, which is or was, to what extent or in what way do blacks figure in the origin of man? The answer is the first man was black, and it was he who gave birth to other races of the world.
You have knocked out my first 5 questions.
Les 5 premières questions.
Si, il faut les poser parce que j'avais des choses, j'avais noté mentalement des choses auxquelles je voudrais répondre. Même poser-les rapidement.
You must still ask them, even if you do it quickly, because he has reserved other information in response to that.
Let's give thanks again.